Drake just dropped a freestyle, Fighting Irish freestyle, produced by Conductor. With I know this beat about to be fired in Conductor. He got slapped. All right, Drake. I'm gonna start off by saying Drake. Drake then took a hit. Okay, we can see it. If you can't see that Drake knows and feels and moves like he took a hit from Kendrick, you're blind. Like I think Drake's career is never going to be finished because Drake is solidified and Drake is Drake. Like at the end of the day, he is one of the biggest artists of all time of our generation and just of all time in general. You know what I mean? So no one his career is never going to be finished by someone. He would literally have to finish it himself. But you are you are completely lying to yourself if you don't say that Kendrick did not literally shatter that dude's like spirit, his mental career, his social career. Like people look at him different now. Like you move a lot different now. Even when he's like talking, he's been he's been like in interviews or just like been on streams with other content creators, and he says certain things that tell you that like he hasn't moved on, or like that that him and Kendrick, what Kendrick did, the song, like at the end of the day, bro, Kendrick made a slap that's a diss track, but it's a slap. Like it's not like he's Kendrick isn't even like overly cursing on. It's not like a No Vaseline by Ice Cube or like a Hit 'Em Up by Pac where they just like it's hard to play it in every situation. You know what I mean? You playing that in very, very particular, situations. You can play Not Like Us at the football game, at any sporting event. The band, any band at any grade can learn that percussion and go stupid for an eternity. A video, you could put it on a video game because like Kendrick's not cursing. Like Kendrick probably may say one or two curse words in that whole thing, if that. But like it's not like a crazy like restricted, provocative song. It is a diss track, but it's one of the most creative, non-disrespectful, disrespectful diss tracks of all time that can be played in so many different rooms at so many levels. And I think that's what really uh hurts Drake. Like Jake not Jake. Kendrick didn't just make a diss track. Like he literally made a hit record that just so happens to be a diss track. Like he made a classic record that happens to be a diss track to one of the biggest artists of all time. And don't get it fucked up. Kendrick to me is a way better rapper artist than Drake at the end of the day. To me, just for like sonically and his growth from beginning to now, like it's just been a massive growth over Kendrick music as opposed to Drake music. To me, I feel like Drake's growth stopped after Nothing Was the Same. After that, it's just been with the Lover Boy or the Future collabs or Scorpion, Views, the what was his last album? Yeah, well anyway, just the growth is, what I mean, even like with J. Cole, like J. Cole, you can tell the growth from J. Cole's first album to now. Like I feel like it's constant growth and just pushing the bar forward, you know what I mean? Moving the bar, but like I said, Kendrick did something that's hard to do. He literally made a diss record that is an actual classic record that can be played in all facets. You can play that shit at the cookout, around kids, at in the old folks' home, like, and it's like the beat, the like, it's just a great, and it has moments. A minor, to O V, like you can do dances to it, like you like, and yes, Drake, you took a hit. And that's gonna forever sting him. That's gonna forever sting him. Like Kendrick got the Super Bowl coming up, and Kendrick had a 6 month run after that. Had his friends concert that he did. played that song like 6, 7 times back to back to back to back, and each time it was great. Each time it was great. Now he got the Super Bowl coming up. He done hooked up with Amazon. Amazon pushing it like, and Amazon is everywhere. So it's people who don't even speak English. Then it's not like us. It's not like us. It's not like us. Like, bruh. But hey, like I said, Drake's career will never be over. Only person that ever will end his actual career will be Drake. But as far as like his mental, his spirit, his inner peace, Kendrick disrupted that for sure. All right, let's get into it though. Fighting Irish freestyle. Drake, let's see what you got.
I love him.
Yeah. The summer is over, I missed it. Barrel was smoking, I kissed it. Fair showed us the renters for Texas, it's unrealistic. Cut him the check, cause I hate reviewing the budgets and limits. Just pay the man. The world fell in love with the gimmicks. Even my brothers got tickets. Seemed like they loved every minute. Just know the shit is personal to us and it wasn't just business. Analyzing behavioral patterns is someone suspicious. Niggas was never happy for me when I run up the digits.
So obviously he talking about people switching up on him. I will tell you this. I'm not in the industry. But one thing I will always say, I feel like should be, you should just notice off rip. You should not be thinking, even like put it in your mind that people you meet in the industry when you made it are really there for you. Like, because if you weren't who you were, these people wouldn't know you, wouldn't pay you attention, wouldn't talk to you, wouldn't give you the time of day. So if it's not the people you grew up with, you know what I mean? There is no point for you to ever even be surprised or mad and be like, oh, they switched up on me. Like, bruh, and like these people, you were a game. You were in that conversation because literally you were in that conversation. You were at the level to be in the conversation. If you weren't at the level you were, they wouldn't even care about you. That's a lot of these people don't understand that. Just like you're only talked about because you are who you are. You're only friends with these people because you are who you are. These people wouldn't look. These people, a lot of these like artists, celebrities, behind closed doors are just like in a regular circle. They're like corny. They're weirdos. They're they're creeps. They're assholes. They're terrible people. But they get access and they get in these conversations and around these circles because they're at that level of popularity, fame, you know what I mean, money. And that's it. That is it. So it's like there should be no surprise of like people not really fucking with you in the industry if you didn't know them before you got to that level. Like, yeah, you can find some genuine people when you get to this level, but to put all your eggs in that basket or be surprised when that like turns out that they're snakes or whatever, like, bro, this no. It's people who know you since you were a kid and you still you ain't like you richer than them or poorer than them, and they can be jealous of you or switch up on you. So it's like to get in the industry and think that shit gonna be different is blasphemy.
Or when I'm breaking world records still as I guzzle a Guinness. Or when I get my fifth made back cause the color is different. Remember we traded watches, I gave you the Arabic dial, you gave me a numbered edition. You would even check up on my son like a pediatrician. Sure
Bar.
convinced the gang that shit was rooted in love when it isn't. Show me how different we are, there's blessings in juxtaposition. I guess now you boys gotta abandon your summer tradition. Cold shoulders I gave in the Hamptons.
I one thing, the fact that all of this is the same rhyme scheme, like it's the dead of addition, better perdition, better mission, better the Guinness, like it's the same rhyme scheme. The last ending uh the last word is the same rhyme scheme. Addition, Guinness, pediatrician. It's a lot of ends. You know what I mean? Uh, so that's great. He's been rapping for like almost a minute now, and he's literally still kept the same rhyme scheme. That's a very creative. I got to give you a plus for that. And it's actually good. You know what I mean? It's not like it's bars in here for sure.
It come with the distance. Figure we was always gonna be fishing. Cold shoulders I gave in the. I guess now you boys gotta abandon your summer tradition. Cold shoulders I gave in the Hamptons. It come with the distance.
And another thing about this like type of rhyme scheme, like the laid back chill, I like that type of rhyme scheme. I fuck with that. If you saying some bars, like, cause I'm a lo-fi baby. So if you actually saying something, like if it's actually bars in there, you ain't gotta be dumb energetic. Like if you talking that talk, long as you talking that talk, you could be energetic or chill, whatever. You know what I mean? So I ain't mad at this. Like so sleepy. Now with this whole freestyle, this obviously he wrote this. He obviously looking, and you can see the eyes right there. That boy looking dead at the phone. But who cares?
Figured we was always gonna be close like ovens and kitchens. I was sadly mistaken.
We was always gonna be close like ovens and kitchens. I ain't never heard that, but that's smooth. That's a smooth line. Drake gets away with these cheeky, like it's kind of corny, but it ain't. It's kind of corny, but it ain't. He get away with these cheeky lines like that, like like in the what was it, the off his last album in Charlotte. So whatever, at 10 a.m. in Charlotte, he said something about that's why your niggas deserted you, like put it in cake. That's a corny, cheesy, cheeky line, but those are like those are the type of lines Drake does, but he can get away with it. You know what I mean? It's not like a ooh ah. It's more like a but all right, I got it. It's those lines, but that was one of them right there. We was close together like the stove in the kitchen.
Tradition, cold shoulders I gave in the Hamptons, it come with the distance. Figured we was always gonna be close like ovens and kitchens. I was sadly mistaken, the loyalty wasn't a given. It's all good. And niggas cry the blues for you saying it wasn't malicious. Talking about we family, well I'm not the cousin to visit. God
Still keeping the same rhyme scheme.
Your public image. All that brother talk as if I
now with this
God forbid we ever gotta tarnish your
God forbid we ever gotta tarnish your public image. This is the reality I think that Drake still like ignores. Like no one but you can tarnish your image because at the end of the day, you are a public figure. So whatever you do in the public and sometimes in private will be brought to the light, my boy. At some point, at like what the old saying say, the truth will always reveal itself in due time. With Drake, you gotta take some accountability and stop acting like you ain't been attached to some weird moments, bro. Some PDF file moments. Now, I pray to God you aren't actually a PDF file. I pray to God you not. You know what I mean? Because you have a kid. That would be terrible. Like I would, if that's the case, hell, I hope Shawty get you and your son far away from each other. God forbid anything happen to the youngest. I hate anybody that's like even has that mindset. I don't even get how you can have that mindset, but I don't have that mindset, so I can't understand. You know what I mean? That's just how that goes. But you have to stop acting like, and my point with the accountability, you have to stop acting like you didn't leave a trail of evidence that would make somebody that could give somebody ammo, aka Kendrick, that could give somebody ammo. I mean, even fucking Pusher had ammo. Now Pusher isn't Kendrick, so it didn't get to the level that it should have been. Now, y'all say what y'all want to. Pusher beat Pusher beat Pusher beat Drake too. Let's stop with the cat. Pusher beat Drake too. The story of Adidon, murdered. But that's what I said. Like now, the saddest thing about Meek Mill versus Drake, Meek should have beat him too. Meek came from a battle rap background and lost to the singer. And in the rapping realm, y'all wasn't singing, y'all wasn't verses and singing, y'all wasn't going, R&B record for R&B record. Y'all was rapping. Meek should have won that, but I digress. Moving on. Pusha beat Drake. That's an L on. That's another L, but it didn't cut as deep because in Drake's eyes, Pusha is not at that level to cut deep, right? Kendrick, on the other hand, Mr. Duckworth is, and that's why you see the way he moved, the way he speak now. You can tell that he cut deep, and he said some shit that hit home in his mental and his spiritual. You got to, again, back to the accountability. You got to take some accountability and realize the thing that you did and said in the public eye with some questionably aged females and be like, yeah, that was, you know what I mean? And God forbid that you actually are like that. But don't act like motherfuckers is not. And the more evidence, you have people in your circle who was literally documented offenders. Now I don't know about y'all, but in the words of Jack Boy Maine, you want to know what's suspicious? Usually, when there's one fishy nigga around, it's usually a school of them bitches. In the words of Jack Boy Maine, shout out to Jack Boy Maine, battle rap. That's him versus T Top. If it's one fishy nigga around, it's usually a school of them bitches. So if you got an offender that's literally attached to that is literally in that is literally accused of doing the thing that you are accused of doing. Now we don't know if you've done it or that you are it, but if you got somebody who has definitely been charged and has that shit on their record that they are an offender in this category of being a PDF, why are you near them? The moment anybody in my if anyone in my circle even got close to being, bro, get the hell away from me. Why is someone even attempting to put you? Because like I said, no one, if you're not putting yourself in those type of situations, now shit can happen to where like you're around someone that's your age and shit can go left. She can say like, "Oh, he assaulted me," type shit. That shit happen all the time. It's a lot of people crying wolf and they ain't never touched just cause some shit didn't go their way, so they stayed down. Let me ruin this person's life. But one thing I can tell you, I'm 30. I ain't gonna never be in no situation where I'm around no fucking little kids to even be in that situation to make something look a certain type of way. Like, so it's like, if you are not this, you should not be associated with nobody who is accused, documented, and is literally in a system that you can look up. We can all look up that he is one of these. That he's a freaky ass boy. Point blank. Period. Like
your public image. All that brother, God forbid we ever gotta tarnish your public image. All that brother talk as if I really discovered a sibling. 6 degrees, my memories retrieving our humble beginnings. Niggas wanted trouble, grabbed a shovel and dug up some ditches. Cover my body in dirt, but that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
I think the best thing Drake could do, honestly though, and I think he still hasn't realized it. When everything happened, he should have ducked off, went on a vacation for like a month. But the vacation is just the month is for the vacation. Like go out the country or wherever for a month. Go on vacation. You and your son. If you got a girl, cool. Family time. Recenter yourself. You took an L, take a step back, recenter yourself, go on vacation. Chill. Drop a song, drop a record. Drop something like this, right? Drop something like this. We don't need you constantly being on screen talking, because one thing about people when they're hurt and they don't want to admit it, they will admit it without admitting it either through body language or at the same time just the way they say certain things. You know what I mean? They don't have to straight out say it, but they'll around the way say certain things that make you know like, oh, okay, they're angry or they're they feel a type of way about something or their energy's off. You know what I mean? They're not like how they usually are. You should have just taken some time off, make people miss you. At the end of the day, you still gonna have fans to come out to your show at the end of the fucking day. Now nobody I know is gonna go to them fucking shows personally, but I'd be lying if I said or anybody didn't say at one point their playlist was filled with Drake. I mean, you still in my playlist. It's random songs that come up in my playlist that you still in. Uh what's the song? Show Me a Good Time. That's a great song by you off your Thank Me Later album. Um the man, what's that song? Fireworks. Uh is it Fireworks? What's that song? Does it matter? But anyway, It's like we all got some Drake in our reposado type shit. You ain't got no Yeezy in your reposado, like but yeah, just you should have took some time, sat back, came back, and then dropped a project or something. Like, don't say shit. Just drop a project out of nowhere, addressing everything, and then left it alone. Like, the music is what got you here, and trust me, the music is what's gonna keep you here. So just do that. Like, don't go pity party and don't worry about it. You still gonna be Drake. Now you got an asterisk on your name forever, but you still Drake. Don't get it fucked up.
That was a body double, and we've done dozens of switches. Niggas tried to light the front gate up, it wasn't for Christmas. I said a prayer that morning for Sean, and it wasn't religious. It came from a place of desperation and utter submission.
Is he talking about Sean or Big Sean? He talking about Sean or Big Sean? Like Sean as in Big Sean?
Christmas. I said a prayer that morning for Sean, and it wasn't religious.
Is he talking about Sean as in Big Sean?
It came from a place of desperation and utter submission. Rapping.
Hey, again, we a minute 42 into this rap. It's still the same rhyme scheme. It's still the same synonym. Submission, pediatrician, submission, Christmas. Like, that's still impressive.
Over for now. It came like a sudden decision. I don't give a fuck about you snakes or these other musicians. Niggas started fucking with my family. I'm going to prison. And we all crashing out together.
Well, I mean, nigga, you had homies who was fucking with children who was in prison. Maybe you should have stopped having affiliations with them niggas and started admitting that was a conflict of interest. Bars! Don't get me started. I body Drake now. I mean, hey. If I get serious, the pen. I mean, I could do this. I mean, if y'all ain't never heard me get into my bag on a record. Look it up. Look it up. You know what I mean? Work by Wallace on SoundCloud. iTunes, Wallace, you know what I mean?
My brother's complicit. Who put a pipe bomb in your trunk and was an exhibit? I'm trying to blow the doors off that bitch when you touch the ignition. But then I gotta remember who made this shit come to fruition. It's me. Who's got the most to lose and who's in that other position? Signal conversations where I hope they got double encryption. I hate to see that.
This smooth though. After I do all my analyzation, then we're gonna run it back and then we're just gonna watch it all through without me interrupting. But like as I'm hearing, I'm reacting. But
Empire
it's
crumble on
smooth though.
judges' convictions. This nigga pulled a rabbit out the hat and y'all love a magician. It's funny to see you all rejoicing and hugging and kissing. What do we celebrate?
You know one thing I never understood that artists do? They try to make it seem like the smoke and mirrors that another artist will do, that they don't do the same thing. Like everybody wants something to look good in their favor. I never understood why artists will do that. They'd be like, oh, that person did this, and I do the exact same thing, but they did it. Don't worry about when I do it. Just know that they do it. Like, y'all all play the game. Y'all all call into business. Make sure try to get certain records played or not played if y'all beefing. Like, it's all a money game. It's all a leverage game. Like, we ain't gonna do that.
I'll rent out the club at addition. Nothing was the same with all you bitches and nothing's forgiven. But next time, bury me in gold. My blood is Egyptian. The Dennis James come out when the vodka is flooding my system. I don't have a drinking problem. I got a subtle addiction. I got my father's habits and I got my mother's permission. My dad has another child. I told him that wasn't my sister. Grew up with dozens of Jews, churches with dozens of Christians. Also developed a deep respect for the Muslim religion. I'm staring at my daddy while y'all tell me I wasn't that nigga. That's fucking crazy.
That's a crazy bar to end on. I'm staring at my daddy while y'all telling me I wasn't that. That's a crazy bar to end on, bro. No, I'm staring at my daddy while y'all telling me I wasn't that nigga. Cause people often like say that, like, you know how Kendrick said that, like, and so did Rick Ross. He's like, he's a white boy. Like, I don't even like when you say nigga. Drake is light skinned, his mom's white. I always say this. depending on who your mother, if what your race your mother is, that like to me that's the race you are because that's what you came out of, especially whoever you was raised around too. So like if you're mixed and you was raised around this type of race, right? And only that's the only race. You're that race. That's just the race you are. You're more of that race. You can be mixed, but you're more of that race. You just happen to be, mixed or light skinned. Like my brother, he's mixed, but he's more black than he is mixed because his dad is mixed. So dad mixed, my mom is black. His dad's mixed. So it's like mixed dad, black mom. He black though, but he is light skinned like his pop. He literally looked like this. You know what I mean? But he black though. So there are, but I will say there are some cases with mixed people where it's like they just don't look or sound right saying the N word, even though they can. Like, ironically, Cole. Cole has a white mom, but I feel like when Cole says the N word, it doesn't sound like he's trying to say the N word or be black. Now it's on a flip coin. You got someone who like Logic. Logic is mixed. His mom is white. To me, Logic is white. He could be black. He is black. He is mixed, but he's a white boy. He's a white boy, bro. Like it's like 10% of him that give off like I'm black energy. And you ain't even gotta be the blackest black or the whitest white to be either or. Cause like I live by the Earl Sweatshirt bar of like too black for the white kids and too white for the black. Like I am that. Like I'm not a nigga, and I am completely black, but I'm not a nigga. You know what I mean? Like I'm not constantly cursing or constantly like trying to be thuggish or nothing like that. Like I was always interested in the comics and fucking video games and electronics and shit like that. You know what I mean? Artistic shit like that. So I was never the Negro black. You know what I mean? I was never the nigga, the stereotypical black person. I never even dressed like that. Like my mom, she never made us like be ghetto or nothing like that. We're just black. We're African American. We're kings and queens. But I was saying with a lot of like some people just don't look or sound right when they say nigga because they don't say the N word a lot on their regular day. So it's like when you do say it, it's just like someone who don't curse a lot. When you tell them to curse, they just don't sound right cursing because they don't do it a lot. It's not natural to them. Like me saying fuck, it don't sound like I'm trying to say the F word or like forcing to curse because it's normal. Same thing with like nigga. Even though I am black, but like imagine someone who doesn't say it all the time and you tell them to say it, they're gonna be like, nigga, like they gonna just say it's gonna be stupid. All right, now what we're gonna do is oh, include that Drake, yes, he's mixed. But in Drake's case, I feel like Drake has said N word where I didn't feel like he was forcing it. Um so yeah, but I think, like I said, when some cases, some people look at it as like whatever race your parent is, if you are mixed, your mother is, that's the more of the race that you actually are, especially if you like light skin. Um, so yeah. All right, let's replay this back and then so we can hear everything just as one go.
I love him. Yeah. The summer is over, I missed it. Barrel was smoking, I kissed it. Fair showed us the renters for Texas, it's unrealistic. Cut him the check, cause I hate reviewing the budgets and limits. Just pay the man. The world fell in love with the gimmicks. Even my brothers got tickets. Seemed like they loved every minute. Just know the shit is personal to us and it wasn't just business. Analyzing behavioral patterns is somewhat suspicious. Niggas was never happy for me when I run up the digits. Or when I'm breaking world
I
records
love this
still as I
beat.
guzzle
Conductor
the
killed
Guinness.
this.
Or when I get my fifth made back cause the color is different. Remember we traded watches, I gave you the Arabic dial. You gave me a numbered edition. You would even check up on my son like a pediatrician. Sure convinced the gang that shit was rooted in love when it isn't. Showed me how different we are, there's blessings in juxtaposition. I guess now you boys gotta abandon your summer tradition. Cold shoulders I gave in the Hamptons, it come with the distance. Figured we was always gonna be close like ovens and kitchens. I was sadly mistaken, the loyalty wasn't a given. It's all good. And niggas cry the blues for you saying it wasn't malicious. Talking about we family, well, I'm not the cousin to visit. God forbid we ever gotta tarnish your public image. All that brother talk as if I really discovered a sibling. 6 degrees, my memories retrieving our humble beginnings. Niggas wanted trouble, grabbed a shovel and dug up some ditches. Cover my body in dirt, but that wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was a body double and we've done dozens of switches. Niggas tried to light the front gate up, it wasn't for Christmas. I said a prayer that morning for Sean and it wasn't religious. It came from a place of desperation and utter submission. Rapping was over for now, it came like a sudden decision. I don't give a fuck about you snakes or these other musicians. Niggas started fucking with my family, I'm going to prison. And we all crashing out together, my brother's complicit. Who put a pipe bomb in your trunk and wasn't an exhibit? I'm trying to blow the doors off that bitch when you touch the ignition. But then I gotta remember who made this shit come to fruition. It's me. Who's got the most to lose and who's in that other position? Signal conversations where I hope they got double encryption. I hate to see the empire crumble on judges' convictions. This nigga pulled a rabbit out the hat and y'all love a magician. It's funny to see you all rejoicing and hugging and kissing. What are we celebrating? I'll rent out the club at Edition. Nothing was the same with all you bitches and nothing's forgiven. But next time, bury me in gold. My blood is Egyptian. The Dennis James come out when the vodka is flooding my system. I don't have a drinking problem. I got a subtle addiction. I got my father's habits and I got my mother's permission. My dad has another child. I told him that wasn't my sister. Grew up with dozens of Jews, churches with dozens of Christians. Also developed a deep respect for the Muslim religion. I'm staring at my daddy while y'all tell me I wasn't that nigga. That's fucking crazy.
Like I said, in conclusion, Drake, you will be fine. But just drop music. You gotta take the L on the chin like a man. We're gonna go back to Any Given Sunday days with Al Pacino. You either win or lose, but can you win or lose like a man? That's it. You can't win them all. And sometimes winning too much will have you thinking you can never lose. And when you win too much and you think you can never lose, you're not prepared when you do lose. And you're like, like you could have just got a slap across the face or a tap on the chin, but because you have not got tapped on the chin, to in your mind it feel like somebody just hit you with a wrecking ball. When it's like, bro, all he did was tap you on the chin. Now, obviously, what Kendrick did is more than tap on the fucking chin, and that Super Bowl is about to probably make it a fucking Louisville slugger across the jaw. But just put the music out, like this right here. This is cool. Like this, some little backpacky. See the little TV, the little lo-fi, low quality video filter. This should have just been put out with a video, or just put out on actual DSPs. You know what I mean, or like on your site or whatever. Like this song should have been mixed, mastered, and actually put out so that you could play this song. $100. Say this song would have probably got him to like top 5 in the country in like a couple days, or if not overnight. This is smooth as hell. Like he's spitting on this shit, and it's easily digestible, but at the same time, it's not. If you gotta listen, it's conceptual. He talking about the situation he going through. He's showing some self reflection. Like I said, you just put out music. All right, moving on.